It's time to grow up. It is time for many of you to simply just grow up. I'm making this video message because recently I've released several videos, and a few of those videos have been touching on circumstances and situations and issues concerning men and women who are single. Other videos that I've touched on, I've included morals, standards, and having values for different areas of your life. But what I find disturbing is that, like I told you guys before, a lot of people in this world have a issue with constructive criticism, and they don't want anything said to them. And when you come across people who don't want anything said to them, or they get highly offended from constructive criticism, or you observing certain things that can be destructive for somebody else, when you approach them with a different perspective or advice, they will label you as negative. They will label you as mean. They will label you as feeling like you are better. They will label you as feeling like you are morally superior to other people. These are the type of things that I hear, and these are certain feelings certain people have when it comes to people who speak against or who are not in agreement with doing particular things in their life. But I say to you guys on today that it's time for you to grow up, because just because you are comfortably involved in certain things in your life and you don't have any thought or regard or restraint or discipline to not partake in certain things, does not mean that every single person that you come in contact with are going to be the exact same way you are. I also want to tell you guys to grow up, because you cannot get angry or frustrated and begin to lash out, accuse, persecute, ostracize, or attack someone that you personally feel inadequate about in their presence, because you know they're different from you. You have to grow up from that. In this life, you are going to come in contact with people who are the total opposite of you, who do things differently from you, who think and believe things totally different from you. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay. It's nothing to persecute. It's nothing to attack. It's nothing to argue about and go back and forth about. It's just within you. You have to deal with your insecurity. You have to deal with feeling inadequate. You have to deal with your jealousy and your confusion and discomfort when you are in the presence of someone that does things that you are not accustomed to, or they believe in things that you are not accustomed to. How dare anyone get irritated or launch some type of a verbal attack towards someone because behind their eyes they are not in agreement with maybe having sex outside of marriage? Why are some of you all getting angry about that? People don't have to have sex outside of marriage if that's not what they choose to do. People don't have to smoke or drink if that's not what they want to do. Women don't all have to believe in abortions if that's not what they want to do. But what you have to ask yourself, and those things I just named, that's like scratching the surface, because it gets a lot deeper. But I just threw a few things out there that I find people get angry about when I begin to speak against it. Or when I say, hey, I'm not with that, I don't partake in that, I'm not in agreement with that, I don't live my life like that. You got to get to a place within you and here mentally, where you understand and accept, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, you got to get to a place where you fully, understand that everybody is not like you. It's nothing deeper. You need to just grow up and realize that everybody is not like you. Everybody is not going to do the things that you do. I want you guys to start caring more about decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis. This does not mean that you're a picture of perfection, because I know I'm not perfect. It doesn't mean that you feel or think you're morally superior. It has nothing to do with that. When I come on the scene and you guys see me put out these videos and I'm going live and I'm having these conversations with you, the bottom line here is I care about your soul. I don't want anybody connected to me in real life or on my personal platform involved in any type of mess, confusion, or drama. I don't want anybody in my real life or anybody who is connected to me on this platform to self-sabotage or destroy themselves or be involved in things that I know can keep you held back in life. Let me tell you guys just two things before I end this video. I need you guys to hear this, because from when I was a little girl, I told you guys I came from a religious household. My mother was not religious, but my father was religious. And from when I was a little girl, my father used to anoint my head with oil and he would pray for me, just to keep myself for marriage, even though I disobeyed God. But when I found out that when you get out the will of God, there's a lot you got to deal with, I had changed the situation. And so I went back to the original position of what my father prayed for me and my mother as well. And I just don't look at life and doing certain things the way that the average person does. I want to be kept. And so this is why God keeps me. God will keep those who want to be kept. I understand that every desire and thought and feeling that comes to me, I cannot give in to it and act on it, because it could possibly destroy me. It could destroy those around me. And so when I bring these different perspectives to you guys and different scenarios, it's to make you think. It's to make you better. It's to help you transform for the better. But let me tell you guys these two stories before I end the video. When I talk to you guys about not cheating, when I talk to you guys about not sleeping with people, husbands and wives, I say these things to you not because I've done it personally, but because from a very young age, I saw how it destroyed many people that were very close to me, not only in my bloodline, but people that were somehow connected to myself or my family or friends, kind of indirectly. But one story, let me tell you guys just one quick story, just from a moral standpoint of why I go so hard and why I'm so adamant about not having sex outside of marriage and about not cheating, especially when you are married. It's an old man that I know, and he's old now, but when he was younger, he always shared stories, and some things I saw him do. He was always sleeping with other people's wives. He slept with a lot of married women, so much so to the point where he was very disrespectful, and he would go into these women's houses when their husband was at work or out of town or whatever, and he would sleep with their wives. He did this all in his youth. When he dated certain women, before he got married a couple of times, he also would cheat on them repeatedly with different women. Well, it got to the point when he got up in age and he got married a second time, he got ED, Those of you who don't know what ED is erectile dysfunction. And he said something to me and I felt like it was profound, but my level of respect went up through the roof for him because he was so true to who he was and very transparent. He said to me, you know what, Kiki? Because all of my life I was sleeping with a bunch of men's wives, and all the women that I had that I dated, I cheated on them. I know for a fact God has punished me with erectile dysfunction because I'm married now and I can't even have sex with my wife. And I know for a fact that came because of all the things I did in my youth. That right there made me feel even better with the messages that I come with to release to you guys. Another situation that I know, these are real life situations. There was a woman who she used abortions as birth control. She repeatedly got abortions. She didn't care about it. She was arrogant and cocky about it. She would argue you down about why she was justified in doing what she was doing. Didn't want to get on birth control, didn't want to use condoms. Abortions was just her birth control. But she ended up falling deeply in love with a man eventually in her life, and they got married. And she got to a place where she really wanted a baby. She wanted to have this man's baby. And they set up the room, decorated it, bought all these different things because they knew the baby arrival was coming real soon. Well, she had the baby, and when she had the baby was born dead. And her husband said he knew that the baby being born dead was a punishment from God because every time he blessed her womb with a child, she killed it. Now, this video is not going to be everybody's cup of tea because hardcore truth that's given to you guys, and when you all hear different perspectives and different stories, I know a lot of this stuff, it does not sit well with you, and you guys get angry and you get furious and you want to argue about it. But the thing is, when somebody cares about your soul, they're not going to sit back and see you destroy yourself, your reputation, or your life just because they know you can. Certain things that you do, it's not going to help you get ahead in life. It has not gotten you ahead in life. You have not done anything in a positive sense outside of having numerous men or numerous women. And a lot of you all are real cocky about it. You're real arrogant about it. But I am here to tell you that in the end, you continue to live your life like that, things probably won't really go well for you. It probably won't go well for you because after a while it becomes pointless and you're getting older. You're getting older. And a lot of things that you do in your youth, once you get older, a stop is put to it. And then you get frustrated and you go back to how you could have did things differently. And I'm not saying we're not going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. People fall. This happens all the time. But some of you all, you are very arrogant and cocky about sleeping with people's husbands, sleeping with people's wives, cheating. You don't care nothing about it, though. The world promotes that. They put these images out. They have these conversations on platforms. People think it's cute. People think it's funny. I don't find any of it funny. Hurting people that truly love you, that are down for you. What's funny about that? And you cheating on them? You sleeping around with other people behind their back? I don't see anything remotely funny about that. So I want you guys to know that whether you ever agree with anything that I teach you and tell you, if you don't believe anything else that I say, understand and believe me when I tell you that I truthfully care about your soul and your well-being. And because you are connected to me, I don't want you all in anything destructive. I want you to clean up your act. I want you to work on getting better. And I want you all, please, to grow up.